Are cyber criminals working from home during the pandemic? Cyber crimes are on rise during this period, and that will be our focus. We also look at other crimes, but primarily in the first segment, we talk about cybercrime. We have some experts also to talk about the latest crime and also survivors who at the forefront face cybercrime, or let's say online hate or abuse. My name is Arun Singh. This is India's Rising Crime. Let's give you a look of what you are going to see in the show. Security of government computers breached, email traced back to Bengaluru. The computers broken into also stored data relating to National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Indian citizens and senior government functionaries. In a shocker from Bhubaneswar, two minor sons allegedly mercilessly beat their mother, which resulted in her death. A 13-year-old girl was allegedly raped in Goda district of Jharkhand. A brave Nala Sopara jeweler foils bid to loot his showroom in the Mumbai region. Robber runs away, leaving his bike behind. As I said, the focus will be on the cyber crimes. Everybody has moved online during the pandemic as most of the on-ground operations are on a halt. So cyber crimes are on a rise. We bring you this first story where several systems of National Informatics Center, which is NIC, were found to be compromised. This is a major security breach. On the complaint of NIC, Special Cell of Delhi Police filed a case under IT Act. Now, these computers contained data related to Indian security, citizens and VVIPs like Prime Minister, National Security Agency. The mail's IP address originated in Bengaluru. A mail was received to the employees of NIC who clicked the link of that mail and the data allegedly disappeared. The matter is still under investigation. And just to give you a background, the NIC, which comes under the MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, it sets up IT infrastructure for the government. It helps in implementation of national and state level e-governance projects. So this is a major crime and a major national crime which is seen. Now, of course, we talk about the cyber crimes, and different crimes have also appeared and cropped up during this pandemic. If we talk about the major frauds, now first was of course UPI fraud in PM CARES fund. The DCP Cybercrime Delhi Police has also flagged this on Twitter. Then we also saw Twitter accounts of world leaders compromised. Barack Obama, Kanye West, Bill Gates and Elon Musk, now likes of these personalities, their Twitter accounts were compromised. Recently, Twitter account of PM Modi's official website was also breached. Then we saw a major incident, boys' locker room, where there were private pictures of girls shared of the groups. There were multiple angles to this story, but definitely shocked many. And then, because of education system going online, many teachers face harassment in this period. We also have some statistics which are focusing on the cyber crimes that we saw in this very period, as I said earlier as well. Now, everybody has moved online. So cyber criminals have also started working from home, and they've ramped up their operations where they're attacking multiple websites, and citizens are also attacked. Their accounts are breached. Let's also talk about the statistics that we have. Kaspersky, which offers cybersecurity solutions, says increase in cyber attacks was seen in this period by 25% globally. And again, the same agency says cyber attack on servers up by 217% in the period of April to June. Now, UN counter-terrorism chief says 350% increase in phishing websites was seen in the first quarter of the year. So overall, it has been a tough period while countries are battling with the coronavirus pandemic. There are also these crimes on the rise, and women were usually more prone to facing cyber hate, abuse than men, have also seen a rise in crime against them. The data by NCW, National Commission for Women, says 54 cybercrime complaints were received online in April in comparison to 37 complaints received online and by post. And as compared to the figures in February, 21 were received. Now, I believe this is the tip of the iceberg because many of the cyber crimes, they go unreported. Most of these are untraced as well. But women are on the forefront on facing cyber hate, abuse and crime as well. That remains our focus on India's rising crime. We have guests also with us, so we'll be talking to multiple guests about how this can be tackled and what does it really mean for our country. If we talk about the first crime that we talked about, which is of NIC computers breached, and the security, of course, here is the biggest concern. We have multiple guests lined up with us, and we'll be talking about these. We have cyber experts and also those who faced online hate. If I can check, we have with us a cyber expert. Shubham Singh is here with us. Shubham, let's talk about the first thing. Of course, this NIC issue has given us a sneak peek of how security can be breached on a national level. What does it really mean, this latest thing that we're talking about?
Yeah, of course, because like there are happening so many data breach in so many government agencies, also in some private firms. Like we can say ransom attack was very famous earlier. So there are so many things which are rising. Mostly in this pandemic, cases are very on daily basis. Cases are very high. Also, they are targeting mostly on banking, like most government agency, also on financial companies. So they are targeting on our all financial system.
Okay, so Shubham is a 26-year-old cyber expert, and he's worked with different state police to nab these cyber criminals. Shubham, have you seen a rise in this period? Of course, we have data speaking for it. लेकिन क्या आपने देखा है कि इस पीरियड में ज्यादा साइबर क्राइम्स बढ़े और आप जो केसेस हैंडल कर रहे थे उसमें कितना राइज आया?
Of course, like बहुत सारे केसेस आते रहते हैं, बट ये जो पैंडमिक की वजह से, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन एक्टिविटीज बहुत बढ़ गई है, इंटरनेट यूजर्स बहुत ज़्यादा एक्टिव हो चुके हैं, वर्क फ्रॉम होम चल रहा है, सो फ्रॉडस्टर के लिए भी बहुत ही इजी टारगेट हो गए हैं. उनके लिए ऑनलाइन बहुत सारे विक्टिम्स हैं जिसको वो टारगेट कर सकते हैं. सो एक 40-50% रेशियो बढ़ चुका है.
ऑल्सो कोविड क्राइम्स भी निकल कर सामने आए, जहां पर कई फिशिंग मेल्स की जाती थी, चाहे कुछ वेबसाइट्स ऐसे बताती थी कि वो वेबसाइट्स WHO की हैं. तो ऐसे कुछ क्राइम्स के बारे में अगर आप बात कर सकते हैं जो सिर्फ कोविड स्पेसिफिक हैं.
ऑफ कोर्स, लाइक कोविड के पीरियड में जहाँ पे कि आप कोई भी नोटिस करेगा, उनको मेल आना बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया, ईमेल्स बहुत सारे आने लगे, स्पैम मेल्स आने लगे. तो उस स्पैम मेल्स के अंदर वो मालवेयर लिंक बाइंड करके भेजते हैं जहाँ पर कुछ एग्जीक्यूट हो जाएगा. जैसे कि जब कोविड आया था तो एक कोविड मैप के मालवेयर बहुत ज़्यादा वायरल हुआ था. बहुत सारे एजेंसीज को वो मालवेयर इन्फेक्ट किया था उनके सिस्टम्स को. सो ऐसे बहुत सारे चीज़ें हैं. इवन कोविड में PM केयर फंड फॉर UPI स्कैम्स, फ़ोन पे आपको कॉल आएगा कि वी आर कॉलिंग फ्रॉम PM केयर फंड और हम आपको कुछ अमाउंट आपको सेंड करेंगे, बट वो सेंड के बदले डिडक्ट हो जाता था. जब वो UPI में जब रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं हम अमाउंट, तो जब हम पिन डाल देंगे रिक्वेस्ट पे क्लिक करके, सो आपके अकाउंट से ही डिडक्ट हो जाएगा. सो विक्टिम सोचते थे कि उन्हें वो अमाउंट मिलेंगे, पर वो
But there have been multiple alerts from Ministry of Home Affairs as well, and a glimpse of that can be seen on your screen, where they have put out alerts and also awareness campaigns to actually alert people on what can be done to their systems or their securities online. Now, I also spoke about how women have faced online hate and abuse, especially in this period when all of their transactions, all of their dealings have also moved online. They anyway are more prone to cyber hate and abuse than men. We have with us Malini Agarwal, who's founder of Miss Malini, and also Malini's Girl Tribe. She's a digital content creator, quite popular across all social platforms. Malini, you started a campaign during this period. I'm sure there would have been cases of cyber hate and abuse before that, but what really triggered you?
You know, honestly, I think what's happened is that all of us are spending more time online. And if you've done Instagram lives, you would see the messages that would come right in front of your face. And, you know, all of us have been trained and told just ignore the haters, ignore the trolls. But I think it's reached a point of escalation that it's really frightening. And I have to thank Shubham, who is the cyber expert you just spoke to. He's been really critical in helping us report these crimes. And I think there's three pieces to this, right? I think people were not aware of their rights, that this is an actual legal crime. And women didn't know that you can report them and you can file an FIR and these guys can actually go to jail. Also, the perpetrators were not aware of this. And I think finally, especially for women, I feel so much better knowing that there's something I can do. Otherwise, it's, you know, seeing obscene pictures in your DMs, getting, you know, solicited with all these obscene messages constantly plays a huge toll on your emotion, on your mental well-being. So it's very important to take that power back. And I think one of the things that we haven't realized is that our whole world is moving virtual. And we're making the same mistake that we made in real life, where we're letting, you know, havoc prevail and we're not checking it at all. And unless we do that and actually create gender sensitization, which is what we're trying to do with Ignore No More Online, we're really going to be in a lot of trouble.
Shubham and Malini, stay with us as we also talk about this story which has emerged from Delhi, where again women were attacked online. Now, Delhi police has nabbed this culprit who allegedly leaked numbers of two women who were staying in Greater Kailash of Delhi, and he also attached some pornographic images along with those numbers. Those numbers were leaked. Women started getting calls, and when the complaint was filed, it was later found out that man's girlfriend had asked him to do so. Now, this girl works as a house help, and she had conspired this along with the accused to take a revenge on the ex-employers. So she used to work as a domestic help in this house where she was fired. The complainant says she was fired as she was found stealing, and after which she decided to take revenge on the employers, and the numbers were leaked online. Women started getting multiple calls and they were harassed mentally. This complaint was filed and now the accused has been arrested. So it's very common, Malini, and Shubham also, if you can come in here. Shubham, आपने कई crimes देखे होंगे against women in this period. आपने कुछ solve किए हैं पुलिस, स्टेट पुलिस के साथ?
जी हाँ, ऑफ कोर्स बहुत ज़्यादा लाइक वुमेन हैरेसमेंट में बहुत ज़्यादा केसेस बढ़ चुके हैं. लाइक वो पहले भी होता था, पर अभी जो फोकस में आया बहुत सारे ऐसे जैसे कैंपेन है इग्नोर नो मोर ऑनलाइन, सो अब लोग आ रहे हैं और कंप्लेन कर रहे हैं उससे, और सामने आ रहे हैं कि कितने ज़्यादा केसेस हैं, और ये डेली बेसिस पे होता है. मतलब आप डेली मुझे सिर्फ पर्सनली एटलीस्ट 30-40 ऐसे कंप्लेंट्स आते हैं जहाँ पे किसी ने स्टॉक किया है, किसी ने थ्रेटन किया है वुमेन को, मॉर्फिंग कर दी है उनकी फोटो, उनको सेक्सटॉर्शन किया जा रहा है. तो ये केसेस बहुत ही ज़्यादा बढ़ चुके हैं, पर उसको उस हिसाब से अब हम टैकल भी कर रहे हैं और लोग उसे कंप्लेंट भी कर रहे हैं, फाइल भी कर रहे हैं, और उसके ऊपर एक्शन भी अब हो रही है केसेस में.
Malini raised a very important point of gender sensitization exercises or workshops to be carried out. Malini, why do you think women are more prone to online hate and abuse?
I think it's just something that's systemic. You know, we've been dealing with this patriarchy and this power play from the beginning, and we've seen it in real life for so long already. And I think it comes down to, you know, there's this belief that I think these people who are doing this feel that this is how I'm going to get a girl's attention. And I've tried to talk to a lot of guys and try to ask them, why do you do it? And it's a lot of repression. There's a lot of sexual repression, which we've seen has always played havoc with the minds of the young here. And it is a lot of patriarchy. And I think the problem is that most parents who are the previous generation have not realized that their kids are going online and doing this. The daughters are not telling the parents that they're getting such messages. The sons,
and what's alarming is that most of these trollers are very young. And I saw one of the posts of yours which said you had put out a warning that if you don't come out, I'll be reporting the account. So
Yes.
you've also filed multiple complaints. If you can give us an update of how the accused were nabbed, or what's the status?
So a lot of times, in fact, we get in touch with Shubham or the National Women's Commission, and they do take action. And what happens is that these boys, they need this to happen today because their parents literally call up crying and saying, I'm sorry, I didn't know what my son did, or they're writing apologies. And I think this has to be done because we're actually preventing this same kid to go on and maybe commit a physical crime. Because it starts somewhere, right, where you get away with too much. So I think it's really important. We've actually seen where there was that comedian online who was trolled. She got rape threats and death threats. And finally, the perpetrators were put in jail. So this is very important that there are consequences.
Yeah, so one thing that everybody should understand is that cybercrime is as serious as any other crime, and you can be traced and tracked irrespective of the fact what IDs you were using, which location you are doing it from, what IP address you're altering or manipulating, but you can be traced and tracked. Malini and Shubham, thanks a lot for contributing your views in our show. Now, we'll definitely keep a focus on other crime stories as well. I'm slipping into a very short break, but we talk about other crimes. The focus would also be on multiple states. We talk about this incident from Nala Sopara, where a loot was handled well by a jewelry store owner. Stay with us. A central probe agency, the Customs, has filed 2 new cases involving dates and Quran consignments from the UAE consulate in Kerala. And according to the Customs the Commissioner, who has confirmed to NDTV, prima facie, this appears to be a case of fraud and involves a foreign diplomat as well as the consignments being handed over to the state government. The state government has maintained they have done no wrong. Sneha Koshi brings us more.
Well, good morning to you and viewers. This is right. In fact, these are the 2 new cases that have been filed by the Customs, which is a central probe agency. The Customs has filed this case in Kerala, and it is regarding 2 consignments. These are 2 different cases regarding 2 different consignments. One, a case of dates, a consignment of dates which had arrived in 2017, and the other of Qurans in 2020 at the UAE consulate. Now, the Customs Commissioner for the Preventive Wing, Sumit Kumar, has confirmed this to NDTV, and he has said that this is prima facie, it appears to be a case of customs fraud and duty evasions. He goes on to say that both of these consignments involves a foreign diplomat, as well as these consignments being eventually handed over to the state government in some form. Now, the Commissioner has actually told NDTV that the consulate claimed an exemption from the duty for personal use, and the State Protocol Department allegedly went and endorsed this, and the goods were thereafter handed over to the state government, which prima facie amounts to custom fraud in some way. So this is really what the Customs will be probing or looking into. The state government, however, has continuously maintained, in fact, the Chief Minister has made reference to these 2 consignments and has said that the state government has done no wrong, that the state government never asked for these consignments, and it was something that the consulate had gone ahead and offered or asked help with. Back to you.
So that was Sneha from Thiruvananthapuram with all the fresh details. Thanks. We really appreciate you joining us. And now we move ahead to another story which comes from Sundarpara area of Bhubaneswar, where 2 minor sons allegedly mercilessly beat their mother, which resulted in her death. The deceased has been identified as Binodini Mishra, who is 40 years old. As per reports, the 2 sons are aged about 13 and 15 years respectively. Wine bottles were found from the room of both minor boys during investigation. A night before the incident, trio had an argument which turned ugly. In a fit of rage, the duo allegedly attacked Binodini with an iron rod which left her bloodied, said Bhubaneswar DCP Uma Shankar Das. district of Jharkhand, where a 13-year-old girl was allegedly raped. She was abducted while she was on her scooty with her friend. Her friend was beaten and made to run away. And then this minor was raped by two men and one has been arrested. Girl was on her way from Boari Jor to Lal Matia. A few days ago, the case of molestation by a principal of a reputed school with a minor student was also reported from Goda. So this coming in a gap of few days is very, very shocking. The survivor in this case herself dialed 100 and informed the police. Immediately, police took action and arrested one. The search for another young man continues. Sopara jewelers' bravery and prudence saved the shop from being looted. The robber ran away but left his motorcycle for fear of being caught. A man had entered his shop at 9 o'clock in the night. He was wearing a helmet. As soon as he entered the shop, he held a plastic gun in one hand and a big knife in the other. Waving knife, he asked to give all the gold products, gold goods. First of all, Chetan went inside the counter and then threw the bucket outside and made noise, which alerted others. The robber got nervous and started running away. So the man standing outside had alerted everyone, and the looters left their bike there, running away from the spot.
9 बजे के आसपास है ना, ऐसा आया हो और उससे चिल्लाए मेरा नाम लेकर के। फिर उसने बाल्टी बार फेंका तो मैं देखा इधर से, तो वो आया वहाँ से। तो यहाँ से वो चोर भागा बाइक पे, मैं यहाँ से भागा, उसका बाइक पकड़ा, थोड़ा आगे तक गया, फिर बाइक को गिरा दिया मैंने और फिर वो नीचे गिरा और उधर से फिर दो लोग आकर के उसको पकड़े और फिर वो नीचे गिरा, उसका हेलमेट भी गिर गया, लेकिन वो पूरा मास्क लगाया था उसने सिर में और मुंह पे। फिर वो चॉपर इतना बड़ा निकाला उसने और ऐसा घुमाया, फिर वो भाग के चला गया उधर।
आपको कैसे मालूम पड़ा वो चोर ही है जब भागने के टाइम?
ये चिल्लाया ना चोर चोर बोल करके और बाल्टी बाहर फेंका इसने दुकान से। मैं यहाँ पे ही खड़ा था, तो जब बाल्टी फेंका तो मैं सोचा कि कुछ तो झगड़ा है, तो मैं देखने के लिए आया, तब तक वो निकल करके बाइक पे भागा वो।
At the end of the show, let's talk about Gulel gang, which was busted by Delhi police. Now, this gang used to blast off cars' glass remotely through a slingshot and then steal the expensive items kept in the car like laptop or an iPad. The police arrested 4 men of the gang, and along with these 4, now there's another arrest as well. The stolen goods were sold to Mukesh Punia in Hisar, Haryana, and he has also been arrested. So the accused said they used to talk about the business through an app, Free Tone, to escape from the police, and that's how they carried out the operation. But finally, this Gulel gang has been busted by Delhi police. With this, we've come to the end of this show, but we'll be back on Monday at 12:30 p.m. My name is Arun Singh. It's a goodbye from my side.